welcome to A Stylish Life. I'm Shakayla, and today we're back to talk about and give honor to all of the Black designers, fashion stylists, and all of the Black creatives in the fashion industry because we don't get enough credit. So let's get started. So first, we're going to start off by talking about some of everything that I'm saying is either my opinion and it's based off of who I like, or it's just fact. So first, we're going to start off with some of my fashion favorites. So a few of my fashion favorites, this is all on Instagram. I mean, they have Twitter handles as well, but I'm basing these names off of Instagram. So if you're looking to follow them, these names are from Instagram. So the first is going to be Princess Tyrena Lee. So her name on Instagram is at Princess Tyrena Lee. Her full name, I believe, is Tyrena Lee. The second one is London Girl in NYC. Her real name is Amanda. She most recently did an article with Teen Vogue about the old Celine, because now Heidi is coming in and just wreaking havoc on legacy and iconicness. But anywho, yeah, that's Amanda. The third one is Mimi Jones, or her last name could be Joneses, but I believe it's Jones. Nonetheless, her Instagram name is at Mimi, MEMEJONESES. The fourth one is Amira Rochelle. So her Instagram name is at Amira.RICHELLE. Next is Claudine Joseph. It's spelled CLAUDINE. Joseph, JOSEPH. I believe she works in the LL Cool J camp. She does something or other for him creatively. Next is Sobana Bell. Soban Bell. I hope I'm not pronouncing her name wrong. But I love her style. It's very edgy. It's very street style. It's very urban. I don't think she's from America. She may travel here, but I don't think she's from here. A beautiful girl. Next is Kalana Barfield. If you don't know who she is, you need to get to know her. You're going to hear her name a lot throughout this video in the different categories that I'm going to be talking in. So get used to hearing her. So how you spell it is KAHLANA Barfield, BARFIELD. So if you're not following her and you're Black in the fashion industry, especially a Black woman in the fashion industry, you need to be following her. You need to make your way over to her Instagram. You need to like it. You need to like it. And yeah, something amazing. And then lastly is Alayli May. She actually attended my school at Columbia. I just found that information out, but I love her Instagram. I love her style. I've always loved her. She's worked with brands like Chanel, most recently Louis Vuitton. She's done a lot of work with Off-White. Her and Virgil did something together with Nike, or no, actually it was Jordan. She's done work with, I think she has done some work with Nike. She's done a lot of things. Like, she's come up so much in the past few years, and she still seems to be very authentic to who she is and what she wants to portray to her audience. So yeah, all of these girls I absolutely love. If I'm looking for inspiration, these are the people I'm looking at. I'm sorry if y'all see like the circles in my glasses, because the ring light is like literally right in front of my face. But I mean, God said, let us have light. And I need to have my eyes. So you're going to get this light shining in these glasses. But anywho, back to what I was saying. I love these women. All of these women I chose because they represent my style and the fashion that I love, that I take part in. So that's why I chose them. You can either like them or not, but this is my opinion. These are the people that I like. I especially love Tyrena. Like, her style is impeccable. Like, it's such a mixture of so many different things. It's very 90s, it's very hip-hop, it's very girly, it's very chic, it's very high fashion designer. Like, she's that one. So that's one of my absolute favorites. And then London Girl in NYC, Amanda, she is iconic. Like, that's as simple as I can say it. She's iconic. Like, she'll go out, she lives in New York, she'll go out and full Celine, full Phoebe, like, and that's just her on a regular day basis. She'll go out in some Dior just to go to the store. Like, I love her, and she really reminds me of Carrie. Like, Carrie would literally go to the grocery store, and not the grocery store because she didn't cook, but like, she would go to like the dry cleaners in a full on fit, like off in a look, just to leave the house for 20 minutes. And I feel like that's how Amanda is, and I really love her. So those are two of my favorites. Of course, all of them are, you know, my favorites, but those are just who I just chose to tell you guys how their style is. And the reasons why I chose them is because I can relate to their style a lot. The next category is amazing wardrobe stylists. So this category is going to be filled with Black wardrobe stylists that do an amazing job. They have a very great expertise. They're very good at their niche of styling, because not every stylist will style the same. Different stylists have a different, what would I call it? Like a different, I don't know what to call it, but they have a different style. Like, I know that kind of sounds weird to say a stylist has a different style, but what I mean by that is, like, they may style all of their clients in this certain category. Like, there might be a stylist that only likes to do urban wear for people, or there might be a stylist that's more into streetwear. There might be a stylist that's going to put, you know, their clients in ball gowns, to be very dressed up and classic. Like, everybody does something differently. And as a stylist, I can attest to that. Everybody is not going to be the same. So a few of mine is June Ambrose. Of course, if you don't know who Auntie June is, I don't know where you have been. If you don't know who she is and you're in the fashion industry, I'm disappointed. Like, I can't even be like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not okay. You need to know her. You need to find out who she is. If you don't know, you need to Google her. You need to get acquainted with who she is, because she is that one, never that two. Okay? So June Ambrose, she's responsible for the many iconic looks of Missy Elliott with the trash bag. Like, that's all her doing. And in the actual video, she was standing behind her holding the trash bag because it wouldn't stay inflated. Iconic. Which, that's what you do as a stylist. You make it happen by any means necessary. She's responsible for many of the Busta Rhymes looks back in like the 90s, early 2000s. She's responsible for styling Jay-Z. She styles a whole lot of people. She's done a lot of work within the hip-hop industry. Next is Colin Carter. He's the stylist for Cardi B. I love what he does for Cardi. Of course, he styles many other people, but his main client is Cardi B. I love what he does for her. He gives her such a he takes who she is and does it 10 times better. Like, he always has her on point. He always has her looking like she just came fresh off the runway. It's not something that you would be like, oh, I could have put that together. Like, no, he really does his thing. And I can say that I'm really proud of him, because I've been following him for a long, I don't know him. I don't know any of these people, but I've been following him for a long time, and I followed him before he started working with Cardi B. And to just see his come up, like, that's absolutely amazing, because as a stylist, I know how hard it is to get a client, or how hard it is to get a client and you be able to consistently work with them, or having that client that's going to take you to the top because you're working on their team. And once you get that, like, he's definitely done his thing and made himself known. He has made his mark as an iconic stylist. I definitely agree with that. Next is Icon Tips. He styles Dej Loaf, Tamar Braxton, Normani from Fifth Harmony, and a few other people. He does a really good job too. I like what he does with Dej Loaf. As we all know, the celebrities will have a say in what they like to wear, but I feel like him and Dej Loaf collaborate really well, and he styles her perfectly for what her style is and what her image is and what her brand is. They make a great team. Next is Luxury Law. He styled Zendaya. That's how I pronounce it. He styled Zendaya, Mary J. Blige, and Tiffany Haddish. He does a really good job as well. As we all know, not even just with him, but with a lot of people in the creative industry or in business in general, there can be hits and there can be misses. It happens to everybody, but he does a great job. He really does. Miss Hilton. Now, she is an icon as well. She has worked with Lil Kim. She worked with Foxy Brown. She's worked with many people in Bad Boy. She's worked with Missy as well, and she's worked with she may have worked with Busta, but I don't think so. I don't think she did. But she was definitely one of the stylists of the 90s era when, you know, things was popping. Biggie and Diddy was popping. I didn't even want to bring this up, but just so y'all, you know, maybe get a better understanding of who she is. She's the mother to Justin Combs, one of Diddy's sons. She's his mom. But yeah, she's amazing at what she does. Absolutely amazing. She's iconic. She's responsible for, most recently, the MCM bodysuit that Beyonce had on in the Everything Is Love video. How am I a fan? The Ape Shit video. Wow, Beyonce, forgive me, but she was the reason why the MCM bodysuit was created for the Ape Shit video. She did a collaboration with them and she custom made that bodysuit. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention for June Ambrose, she is the person responsible for the iconic look that the leading lady in Excuse Me Miss had on. If you don't know, Excuse Me Miss is a song by Jay-Z and Pharrell, and if y'all don't remember that ripped dress that girlie had on with the fur, you need to go research it, because June is responsible for that, and that look is absolutely iconic. Like, iconic. So next is Kelsey Ashley. She's someone who graduated from Howard, I believe it was last year. She does a lot of work with Milano de Rouge, and the owner. She styles her a lot, and she does some other work in like Chicago, New York, different places. She's really good. I love her work. She has a very unique style about herself, and I love that she's distinctive from, you know, not even just the competition, but like her peers, and she's able to think outside of the box and go further with her creativity. The next category is designers and brands. So in this category, I'm not just talking about designers, but brands as well, because there are some people who own brands and they make clothing for it, but it's not that they're necessarily sewing things together. You know what I'm saying? So this is a mixture of both actual designers who are designing pieces, like actually sewing and all that stuff, and people who own brands and they're designing, like, you know, merchandise or whatever. So the first, I know I'm about to mess this name up. I just know it. So I'm gonna just spell it, okay? You probably seen it on Instagram. She makes a lot of like neon pieces. Solange had it on recently. How can I describe it? Virgil copycatted it. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, let's be honest. She makes a lot of like neon snake print clothing, and it's very bomb. So it's spelled, this is the brand name, the Instagram name. Her personal Instagram is TLAZSA. That's her personal Instagram. And then the business Instagram is TLZFEMME. I believe that's the business Instagram. And the business is called, I'm gonna just spell it out, TLZL''FEMME. You know, I don't want to butcher it, so that's why I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it. So I'm going to spell it out. If you would like to follow her or find out who she is, just type out, you know, what I just spelled to you, and you should be able to find her. Then it's Brianna Wilson. She's the owner and creator of Matt Brand. Matt Brand recently had a show that was on the official New York Fashion Week schedule. So big ups to Brianna. She has also come a very long way from, you know, trying to figure out what she wanted to do and living in New York to living in LA and starting her brand and going full throttle and really making it happen. So big ups to her. She's doing amazing things. Her pieces are nice. Very nice. I've never personally ordered them, but I've seen them on a lot of people and they always look amazing. So shout out to her. Kirby Jean Raymond, he's the creator of Pierre Moss, and it's Pierre with a Y, so P-Y-E-R Moss. Absolutely amazing brand. I love a brand who stands for something and knows their brand identity and morals and is very creative but still keeps their morals at the forefront. And I absolutely love what Kirby does for Pierre Moss. Love it. He did a fashion show for his New York Fashion Week collection, and it was at I believe it's a small town outside of Brooklyn. The name is leaving me. But it was started by Black people. It's a town of just Black people. It was, I believe they were former slaves, and then they went close to Brooklyn, started this town, and he had the fashion show outside of one of the houses, and the models used like the yard as their runway. There was a Black choir. They were swag surfing. It was a cookout afterward. Like, when I saw the show, I was in amazement. Like, I was like this, jaw dropped. Like I didn't even know what to do with myself because it was so good. And then the clothing in it is still images of Black people, very important images. Like, he's all about the culture. Like, even if you've seen his ad campaigns, he's focused on people who are doing amazing things within the Black community. Like, for instance, he had in his most recent campaign, he just did a very long campaign tour, but in one of the stops he went to Baltimore, and he had a teacher who's an activist. She's an amazing teacher. She's also a journalist, and she's just amazing, honestly. And her name is Valencia. And then he showcased also the principal of a notable school as well, who's doing an amazing job outside of what her job description is. And she's standing up for the Black community and for her students, although they may not have, well, they both are standing up for their students, although they may not be given the proper tools to execute a proper school system. But they're doing the best that they can and adding in things that they feel that their students need to know. So that was amazing. And then they did a campaign tour from Baltimore, LA. Did they go to Compton? I think they went to Compton. They came to Chicago. In each place that they went, they showcased very notable people of those communities. Like, when he came to Chicago, he had Vic Mensa. He had the mayor of, was it Bronzeville? He had the mayor or the community leader of one of the major Black towns. He had a few activists in it as well. He just does amazing things with his brand, and it's like, it's just so so amazing. I know that y'all have heard me talk about him in my other videos as well. But yeah, to move on, next is Narisha Willis. She is the creator of Avenue N. If you've seen the Black Vogue shirts, that's her. If it's not directly from her website, that idea was created by her. She's also the creator of Ghetto Until Proven Fashionable, which is under Avenue N, but it's like a slogan that's been going around on t-shirts and stuff. And if you've seen it, that's her. She's currently in a fight, well, a lawsuit with Vogue, the company, because they're trying to sue her for trademark infringement. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, you can steal from us, but you think that we stealing from you when my market won't even cross yours. But you want to sue me. But you can take our culture. You can take the way we dress. You can take the way we talk. You can take the things that we do. You can blatantly steal our ideas and implement them into your company, but feel like you have to sue me when my company is nowhere near anything that you're doing. And also, before they started the lawsuit, they put her in the magazine twice and then they sued her. It's absolutely ridiculous. But she's raising money to pay for the legal fees. If you want to support her, either you can donate because she has a GoFundMe, or you can purchase something from her. I actually just purchased something from her the other day. I don't remember her personal Instagram, but just either Google her name, Narisha Willis, or search Avenue N on Instagram, and it'll probably take you to her business page, which should probably take you back to her personal page, and you can find her that way. But yeah, it's just I just want to touch on this real quick because I'm gonna do a whole video about this because this is literally a whole thing. But it's just so frustrating and so interesting how these big brands will steal from these small designers or steal from these cultures without any consequences. Virgil just did it to one of the brands that I mentioned. He did it to two different people, actually, in the same show. He took designs from 3 different people and put it into his show. Like, and they're blatantly doing it, but it's not much that these smaller designers can do because they really just don't have the funds, the resources, or the tools. So if these bigger companies steal ideas from them, people won't really know that it was originally from them because you have this bigger company that most of their audience may have never even heard of. So who you think they're gonna believe? The bigger company that they know a lot about, or the smaller company that they don't know anything about? Come on. But Virgil ain't the only one. Vogue do it all the time. Many brands do it a lot. Fashion Nova does it. Steals from smaller Black-owned boutiques. They do it all the time. Like, that's what they do. That's how they thrive. But yet we're still buying their products. I'm guilty of it too. We're still buying their products, so they're still thriving. They still our ideas, and then remake them at a cheaper quality. But like I said, that's a whole nother video. We'll touch on that later. But let me, because I was really about to go on a whole tangent. So next is Fee Noel. Her name is Fee Noel, and her brand is actually called Fee Noel as well. And she is one of the 3 designers that helped design the LeBron Nike 16s. So bomb. Her line itself is really amazing. And just so you all know, I know that, you know, we try to get the best price possible or whatever, but just so you know, these Black-owned companies are not choosing to have higher prices than your big box stores or big box companies because they want to, but they're creating domestically. They're creating in smaller quantities, so therefore things are going to cost more money. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they were ordering 1,000 or 10,000 units, yeah, everything might be $6, and then they'll sell it to you for, let's say, $21. But they're probably ordering 5 items, and if they're making it in-house from scratch, baby, that's gonna add on some money because they're doing it themselves. They don't have a whole factory of a team just yet to be able to give you the prices that you might think that you can find at these other stores. But I promise you it won't be the same quality. I promise you. They can sell the idea, but not the sauce. It ain't gonna taste the same. You could try to make the same recipe, but when you make it, it ain't gonna taste like how we make it. I'm just saying. But anyway, Fee Noel, she's a very great designer. She's one of the designers that helped create the Nike LeBron 16s. It's a beautiful shoe. It was her and 2 other designers, but she's amazing. She makes really amazing clothes. I suggest that you find her Instagram, and it's just Fee Noel, I believe, and you can find her website from there. Next is Shane Campbell. Her designs have been seen on Solange. They're really amazing, really unique. I actually just read an article on her the other day on Teen Vogue that she was basically just speaking on how it is for her to be in the fashion industry as a smaller designer and smaller company, that she can't necessarily be on the regular fashion schedule because it's just not feasible. It's just not realistic for her in her company right now. Not to say she can't ever get there, but we don't have those same resources and those same funds, so it's just not going to work that way. Next is Aurora James. She's the creator of Brother Vellies. I believe that's how you pronounce it, but it's a brand that Beyonce has worn during On the Run Tour 2. She was nominated for a CFDA award, which is huge because it's a very, very, very small percentage of Black people who've even won an award, let alone been nominated. So yeah, she's been nominated for an award. Her mission is to employ local artists across the diaspora and pay them fairly, because as we all know, a lot of these businesses, they'll create like factories over in China, and these people are getting underpaid. But no, she wants to keep the money in our community. She wants to keep the money with our people, and she wants to employ them properly for the work that they're providing, because they have families too. So yeah, she's a really amazing brand. She does a lot of amazing things, so you can check her out too. So next, the category of intellects, fashion intellects. Everything that I'm talking about is fashion related. So next is fashion intellects. There's only one person in this category. Like I said, this is all my opinion. This is based off of what I have seen, and this is based off of how I feel. So I feel like I've only seen this one person. Not to say she's the only person doing it, but she's the only person that I've seen that I pay attention to. I'm not gonna tell y'all something that I don't know. So I'm speaking on my opinion. So the one is, her name is @BronzeBombshell, I believe, on Instagram and Twitter, but I follow her mainly on Instagram. Like, I follow her on Twitter too, but I pay more attention to her content on Instagram. She's absolutely amazing. She was previously working at Vogue. Now she works as I believe it's the media manager for L'Oreal, but her real name is Shelby Christie. She's amazing. She is constantly giving out fashion history across all topics, giving her opinions, her very intellectual opinions on things that happen within the fashion industry. If you follow her, you're going to walk away knowing more knowledge than you might learn in your fashion class. I promise you. She should really teach a class. If she taught a class, I would go to attend it wherever it would be. But she's absolutely amazing. Like I said, if once you go to her page, you'll leave with so much information. You'll have a better perspective of Black people's history in fashion, or even not even Black people, but all people in the fashion industry, because I've learned a lot about Coco Chanel and a few other designers from her stories. A lot of, tea that we may not have known about these people, but that's neither here nor there. But I would suggest following her. She's amazing, and she has bomb content. Hold on real quick. Spilled a little. Next is editors. So Kalana Barfield, she was mentioned in my first category, I absolutely love her. She's no longer at InStyle, but she used to be the editor at large at InStyle, and she was also the editor in fashion and beauty at InStyle. She most recently left, you know, to bigger and better things, as you should. You should come to a company, learn what you can, meet who you can, make a mark, make connections, and then when it's time to go, move on. Next is Edward Enninful. He's the British Vogue editor-in-chief. He's done amazing work. His most recent, or his first cover as editor-in-chief was for September, and he put Rihanna on it. He does some amazing work. I can't wait to see everything that he does as editor-in-chief, because it's one thing to get put in a position of power, but it's another thing to actually make change and pave a way for your people to come in and do more, see more. Because a lot of these brands, we are the first. We are just now getting these opportunities when these magazines or brands have been around for hundreds of years. So it's a shame that we're just now still in the first of things. But if you get put in that position, you need to pave the way for somebody else to come next. But next is Elaine Welteroth. She was previously the editor-in-chief at Teen Vogue. She recently left as well, once again onto bigger and better things. She's amazing. Her Instagram handle is her name, I believe. So yeah, go follow her. She has some amazing content too. I'm not sure what she's doing right now, but I mean, she has the credentials to do whatever she wants to do. So next category is digital content and magazines. So as I said, these are only who I know. If you have, you know, some more names or brands or companies to add to any category, feel free to leave it in the description box. But first is Saint Heron. They're a digital magazine. Another digital magazine is Meafeater. I believe it's spelled Meafeater, I believe, on Instagram and Twitter. Yeah, that's how it's spelled, Meafeater. Because I think it's supposed to, the MEF is supposed to mean something, and then it's like eater. But anywho, next is Fashion Bomb Daily. As we all know who Claire Summers is, or we should all know who Claire Summers is. If you don't, Google her. She's created a huge platform for herself. She started out as a blogger, and then she grew her brand to be something so huge to what it is today. Their Instagram page actually got deleted over the summer, I think, at like millions of followers. So now they're still trying to rebuild their Instagram page back up, which I know has to be really hard, because imagine working so hard, and yeah, it's just followers, yes, but what if she can't gain those readers back because they don't know, oh yeah, Claire, you know, created a new page, or oh yeah, her page got deleted, so she had to create a new one. What if they don't know and they're just like, okay, well, forget it, and they don't follow the website? You know what I'm saying? So she's been doing a great job. She's done a great thing with her brand. She's on to also not only blogging, but doing events, appearing at shows, interviewing on networks. Like, she does so much, and her brand is so huge, and it's amazing because she gives you the tea on all the looks, all the outfits, anything that you need. Next is Core Magazine. They're an online magazine as well, Black owned. Anything that I say in this video is Black owned. This is nothing against anybody else, but I'm talking about my people, because like Issa said, I'm rooting for everybody Black. That's all I can say. But yeah, Core Magazine is another one. They do amazing things as well. There's a lot of other Black owned magazines too. I hope that very soon they can all create or get really big platforms for themselves, so that we can be on the newsstands as well. You know what I'm saying? So Oh, and I'm going to throw out a little shameless plug of my fashion page. My fashion page is at Young Stylish Lifestyle. On there, we post over 30 posts daily of the most recent news, what's going on in fashion, looks, what people are wearing, what they're doing, the red carpets, the award shows. We keep up with it all. So if I'm just going to shameless plug, make sure you're following Young Stylish Lifestyle on Instagram for all of your fashion needs. Next are iconic models right now. So Ducky Thot, she came in the game and she snatched it up and walked away and took the game with her. Like, she's doing it big. Ebony Davis, she's absolutely beautiful. She's done a lot of shows. She actually walked in the Pierre Moss show during New York Fashion Week. She's really beautiful. She does some amazing work as well. Slick Woods, you might know her from her work with Fenty Beauty as well as Savage by Fenty. She does a lot of work with Rihanna. She does a lot of very streetwear looks, very edgy. Love her personality. She actually was in labor during the Savage by Fenty fashion show, which is so crazy. And also Winnie Harlow, she's walked in a lot of fashion shows too. She's in the same, in my opinion, she's at the same level as, like, you know, Kendall Jenner or the Hadids, but you know, they choose to talk about who they want to talk about. Next category, which is the most important part of it all, is Black people who have paved a way for others in this industry. As I just said, it's very important when you get in positions of power to lean back and help your fellow people out. Not saying that you need to be obligated, but I just feel like it doesn't hurt you to find out information and relate those resources to other people, because you don't know what you don't know, and at one point you didn't know. So why would you keep that information from other people who want to know but don't know how to figure it out? But people who have paved the way are Ruth Carter. She's the costume designer for Black Panther. Selma, Sparkle, Roots, Chirac, Love and Basketball, Bats, iconic Black movie. If you've never seen it, I'm taking your Black art away and you need to go watch it. But she's done so much work. She's so iconic. Her work is amazing. Like, she recently had a master class, and I think it was in DC, and I was so mad that I couldn't go. But she is, if you're trying to get into like styling or wardrobe styling or costume design, she's definitely somebody you need to know and need to study. Definitely. Next is June Ambrose. As I've mentioned her before, she does wardrobe styling and costume design as well. She's paved a lot of way for, like, I don't know if her and Mista came out around the same time, but she's paved the way for stylists to be a part of the hip hop industry and for the hip hop industry to be so involved with fashion, in my opinion. Dapper Dan, he's been a designer since like the 50s, but he's been known for reconstructing and creating clothing with designer fabrics with their monogram logos on it. And he was put out of his business by designers saying that basically he was stealing their designs, which he was not. He was just using the fabric. I mean, y'all use our shit. Come on. And then recently, Gucci decided to take one of his most iconic coats and put it in their fashion show. And then, because they was looking stupid, they chose to do a collaboration with him. I'm happy for him, but at the same time, it's just kind of like you throwing rocks and hiding your hands now. But anyway, Dapper Dan is amazing. He's the reason why a lot of hip-hop artists back in the 90s and the 80s were, I don't know why I said the 50s, because he's not that old. Between the 60s and the 80s, he was the reason why a lot of hip-hop artists like LL Cool J, Jay-Z, that while they were dripping in these designer pieces that didn't come from those designer stores, but they were remade by Dapper Dan, and they looked absolutely amazing. Next is Oswald Boateng. He's an iconic suit designer. He's been designing suits since the 90s. He's designed suits for Jay-Z, for many men in the industry. He still does to this day. He's a British designer, so he's done a lot over in Paris. But he's amazing and iconic as well. As I stated, Missa, she's someone who paved the way as well by being a stylist for upcoming hip-hop artists, and allowing for them to look a certain way, and their looks became iconic, and she was the person behind them. Naomi Campbell, as we all know who Naomi is, she's paved the way for a lot of Black models in this industry. She's the reason why we can't be touched in the modeling industry, although they might try to think we don't have it or say we don't have it. Baby, we got it in the bag, okay? And Naomi is living proof of that. Next is Tyra Banks. Tyra has created so many opportunities for Black women and Black people, and she stood for us, whether it was on TV as a host or as a judge and creator of America's Next Top Model, which has been an iconic show for what, a decade. But yeah, she's done a whole lot, and people need to give Tyra more credit, in my opinion. Beverly Johnson, she's another supermodel who paved the way for us. Now my favorite, Andre Leon Talley. Andre is that one. He is a fashion enthusiast. He was once the editor at large at Vogue. He has done so much within the fashion industry. He literally came from nothing and made his way up. He was born in North Carolina, wanted to get out, went to fashion school, started working, meeting people, ended up in Paris. He's been editor at Women's Wear Daily. He's done so much. He deserves much more credit than he actually gets. If you don't know who Andre is, go figure it out, because you need to know. And if you know who he is but have not seen his documentary, The Gospel According to Andre, you need to go watch it because it's amazing. I can go on a whole tangent about Andre because he's just that one, honestly. And then Zelda Wynn Valdez, she's one of the first major Black designers, and she was also credited to creating the Playboy costumes. And honestly, I didn't know that for the longest time. I just found that out a few years ago, because once again, we create things but we don't get the credit. And she's done some amazing work. If it wasn't for her, we might not have a lot of the things that we do have. Although we have a long way to go, we have came a long way as well. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope if you've never heard of some of these names or brands that I've spoke of in this video, that you go find them. You can go purchase items, follow them on Instagram, or just learn from them and see what you can do next. But all of these people are amazing. They're doing amazing things, and they're getting things done in the fashion industry. But that's all I have, and I'll see you guys later.